I'm Greg Nibbler, and I appreciate everybody who's joining in, so hit that subscribe button. And it is Friday, which means it's time for another edition of Tech Briefs, where I am joined by Ken Yeung, the technology editor for Flipboard, to bring you up to date on some of the biggest news in tech from the week. And this week, we're going to focus a little bit on the entertainment side of things, because there are some more developments. First off, Ken, hello, good to see you.
Hey, Greg, nice to see you again.
So a lot going on here. It seems like every week we've been talking about a different streaming service launching or revamping or something along those lines. And we have another one. And this is HBO Max finally getting a launch date and where we're going to be seeing this platform rolling out. We knew it was going to be coming at some point, but this is the big conglomeration with HBO's regular programming now adding in all of this additional stuff that they're going to throw in with it. It's going to be a pretty big rollout when it happens. What do you know about this? What do you want to tell us about when it comes to this compared to some of the other ones?
So I think this is the latest iteration, the latest instance of a streaming service that will have a captive audience, in a manner of speaking, with everyone stuck at home. And this is I don't want to say it's an optimal time, but basically it is. And it falls on the heels of Quibi launching earlier this month. Then you have news from, as we talked about last week on Tech Briefs, with NBC Universal's Peacock as well, that's launching later on as this year. So we're starting to see a lot of these rollouts come out. So this is no surprise that for $15 a month, you're going to get basically everything from the HBO library. You're going to get obviously shows such as Fresh Prince, Friends, Big Bang Theory, all the movies from the famed Studio Ghibli series. So my favorite, Totoro. That gotta love that anime. So you're having about like 10,000 plus hours of content. If you are an AT&T subscriber, I believe you will get HBO Max for free. As well as there's some other instances where if you're paying for HBO Now, you also will be getting HBO Max included. So this is a good time for them, especially as you look at Netflix announcing their earnings earlier this week. They said that they gained nearly 16 million new subscribers this year. So I believe it's like 150 plus million subscribers worldwide total today, or give or take, if my math is correct. And so this is a good time for them. And you look at Verizon as well. It's like they just lost several 100,000 paid TV subscribers. So you see that there's a lot more interest in the streaming services.
Yeah, and I think with HBO Max, like you said, with all that content that they're going to have on there, I'm an HBO subscriber, and I think it's just supposed to roll right into it because it's the same cost. And it is more, than most streaming services. I think Netflix goes up more if you're looking for 4K, but $14.99 is a little bit expensive, but you get a lot with it, so I think it's going to do really well. We'll have to see, obviously, when it comes out. There's a lot of competition with it, though, and talking about that, going from HBO Max, talking about the competition in online entertainment, we also have news of this. So Vudu is an online service where you can share and rent movies. You can have movies on demand. And Walmart had been the previous owner of them. They actually sold to Fandango, which is a big move by Fandango. Of course, Fandango makes most of their money off of ticket sales to actual theaters. So Fandango trying to find some other ways to bring some more revenue in. Not that they haven't tested the waters before on this, but this is a pretty big move, I think, for them to pick up Vudu.
Right. So Vudu is, as you mentioned, I mean, it's very similar to like a Redbox or a Blockbuster type of thing. You kind of, instead of a physical presence, you are doing it through your TV. And Vudu is supported on hundreds of over 100,000 devices. It has millions of people using it. And this is different from what you get with Netflix and with all these other streaming services. This is not a streaming service. This is your on-demand buy and rent marketplace for videos. And Walmart bought this probably, I believe, like in 2006 or 2010, give or take about 10 years ago. And this is actually, I mean, and Walmart wanted to kind of really take on Amazon and kind of, obviously with being the massive retailer, Walmart had the attention and the reach to do that, but it didn't really do anything with it. It didn't really take off. So now Walmart's parting ways with Vudu, and now Fandango, which is owned mostly by Comcast, but also partly by AT&T, has that capability to leverage that. And will Vudu actually remain as its own subsidiary, or will it actually be a part of Fandango now, which is Fandango's version of Vudu, which is its own marketplace? Now, of course, everyone knows as Fandango as, when is the latest movie showing up, it being available in a theater, when can I buy tickets? There's all that transactional type of thing when you want to watch a movie. But since we're not able to go to the movie theaters anymore, and probably not for a long time, so why not, leverage Vudu? So kind of really take it. If you can't go to be there physically, why can't you watch it at home? And so this can be very complementary to that. But whether or not, how that actually integration plays out, that's going to remain to be seen. As we talked about last week, Trolls World Tour did very well for Universal. Universal is owned by Comcast.
Right.
So could we see more of these type of things as this pandemic goes on, as we're stuck at home for a long period of time? Could we start to see more of these things, like, Wonder Woman, or, I don't know what other movies that are big blockbusters are coming out? Could it
Right. I mean, well, you have all the Marvel movies too,
Yeah.
and everything else that's set to come out. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if some other ones start doing this. Depends on how long it goes, but it's definitely going to change to some aspect, because I mean, when is everybody going to feel comfortable going into a movie theater again that's packed? I mean, it'll be interesting. Definitely a big move though. Yeah, with Fandango buying Vudu, and also Fandango's 20th anniversary, which is coming up next week, and going from that, forcing the segue, to YouTube's 15th anniversary, which was actually yesterday. And that is when, it's crazy to think it's only been 15 years, but it's also been 15 years of YouTube. And it was back then, 15 years ago, when that first video went up of me at the zoo, or whatever it was called, something along those lines, with one of the co-founders there at the zoo, and seeing what YouTube's brought to the table over 15 years. I mean, it's pretty incredible what it's done. It's actually, from one of the reports I read, it's the #2 search engine in the world after Google, because people go to YouTube to look up videos. And seeing where it is now, though, also just in what an important role it plays beyond, just fun, crazy videos, and you have the music videos and everything else that's on there, which is a part of it, but also feeding into controversy in association with going on to coronavirus. And that's why this week we have the YouTube CEO who said they're going to look to ban some of these videos that link really outlandish conspiracy theories, 5G causing coronavirus, those kinds of things, and looking to maybe ban those and remove them from the platform. The question is, I just don't think they're going to be able to really effectively do that.
Right. So this is basically the Titanic, minus the fact that, we don't know if there's going to be an iceberg ahead. I mean, we kind of know there's small little obstacles. It's been well reported in the past, and the fact that coronavirus is impacting YouTube now is not the big iceberg. I mean, they've been dealing with misinformation for a long time.
Right.
This is a $15 billion a year business. They have billions of users, and as you said, this is the #2 search engine. I mean, think about it though. I mean, years ago, let's say more than 15 years ago, uploading a video, who would have thought that you could have had a billion views on that video, right? And now you look at how many of these videos managed to hit that milestone, and there's a lot of them. And YouTube's power has created new celebrities. It's the new Hollywood. It's the new, it spawned new industries, new ways of thinking and getting information out there, in addition to beyond just the written word that you get on Facebook and Twitter and other social networks. So this is, it's a big beast. And of course, it's like, if you don't want to search for stuff on Google or any typical search engine, you want to find something a little bit more explanatory. That's what you get with YouTube. And not bad for Google for buying it for just more $1.5 billion. I mean, think about it. What YouTube
Right.
would have been worth now? But yeah, as you're talking about, there's a lot of negative stuff that's going on with YouTube, with harassment, with misinformation, with all these type of things that's been going on. And how does YouTube deal with this? And can it do it effectively? This is a good step forward for YouTube to start banning videos. My personal opinions, that in terms of and shifting it more towards legitimate sources, that being from the World Health Organization, from the Centers for Disease Control. But what happens after that? I
Right.
mean, what happens when we go into November with the presidential election, with other big name events? Like how is YouTube going to take a stand there? Is it going to be a back and forth, or are they going to do something
Yeah.
more codified? And that remains to be seen.
And how to effectively do that, what all you enforce, it is going to be interesting. But that's what they're coming out with right now, and yeah, it'll be fascinating. By the way, really quick, you mentioned the billions of views. The most viewed video of all time on YouTube is Despacito. As of right now, 6.7 billion views. Despacito number one. I know. I was kind of surprised by that too. But all right, that's it for this week. Again, Tech
Brief. We get ours there.
I'm sure we're on the way. I'm going to guess by the 16th anniversary, it'll be 1 billion views of Tech Briefs. I'm positive of that. And speaking of which, download the podcast. There's a podcast available, too, that everybody can hit subscribe to for Tech Briefs. Ken, as always, thank you so much. Good to talk to you, and I'll talk to you next week.
See you, Greg.